Panagdait sa Diyos sa tanan o sa tanang kabuhatan. Previous weeks and previous meeting we discussed about the second module, recognizing potential market. So we are already done with the entrepreneurial process, and I believe we have four aspects. What are the things if you're going to venture a business? The second one is scanning the market. So say for example, if you're going to scan the market, you need to what? You need to undergo, or you need to scan the general environment as a whole, because as an entrepreneur, you can recognize various opportunities and at the same time understand thoroughly what are the things that probably your business or your future business will operate. So yes, let us continue. And the third one is, in how to recognize potential market, is the 3S of opportunity, spotting, and assessment. So this 3S of opportunity, we can found this sa pinaka-first na entrepreneurial process, which is spotting and assessment, and we call this isa na siya ka framework that most of the promising entrepreneur kanang ginagamit nila to come up with the ultimate product or services suited for a specific opportunity. So, kibale, kaning si 3S of opportunity, this means kaning si 3S is seeking, screening, and seizing. Seizing what? Yes, you're going to seize opportunity. So, again, let us have the recap. What's it opportunity? Unsa din sa opportunity? So, talks about opportunity. It is an entrepreneur business idea that can potentially become a commercial product or services in the future. So, therefore, si entrepreneur, they serve as a catalyst of creating a value for the customer through the new or innovative products or services, and as a reward, of course, si entrepreneurs, they earn profit when customers are satisfied or delighted. Okay? Now let us have the first S, which is seeking the opportunity, or opportunity seeking is the first step and the most difficult process of all, due to the number of options that you as entrepreneur will have to choose from. Nga naman, because there is opportunity seeking, this involve development of new ideas from various sources as follows. Kaya naman, I will be showing you an illustration, maybe an example. Nanong sa opportunity seeking is siya jud ang pinakalisod, guys. Pwede ta makakuha og opportunity from two sources. The first one is macro environmental sources, and the second one is micro market factor. But yes, to inform you as well that the opportunity seeking is more like it is the first step because it sets as the foundation for the entire entrepreneurial journey. So say for example, if dili nimo ni siya matarong og lantaw, so there are instances that imuhang path or imuhang maganing gikuha na venture is you are too unsure because dili siya align or dili siya align sa mga market demand. There are instances that imuhang opportunity is dili siya match sa time or even sa unsay trend or unsay mga consumer preferences and so on and so forth. Okay? So let us start with the macro environmental factors. Again and again, the opportunity seeking, pwede ta makakuha og mga various ideas or mga new ideas unsa atong business na buhaton from two sources, the macro environmental sources and the micro market sources. Now, let us discuss the first sources, macro environmental sources. Now let us define macro environmental sources. So these are external factors that would affect the business and are outside of the business immediate control. So in short, sumunod sila mga sources, no, na dili malikayan or dili na siya makontrol sa business. For example, ang kanang mga demographic factor, economic factor, political factor. So even so, with that mga factor, as an entrepreneur, it is not a hindrance for you to create, or it is not a hindrance for you to operate, or it is not a hindrance for you to identify a certain opportunity. And yes, pwede ka makaka-create of business out of it. And yes, we have 4 macro-environmental sources. The first one is TEPELD. This TEPELD is a mnemonic for socio-cultural and so on and so forth. Kanang makita nimo, kanang nakayelo tanan. So those are the factor that you can identify business opportunity from and where your future business is about to operate. The second one is the industry. So kaning si industry, this is the source of current trend on what is happening in the industry where the future business will belong to. Say for example if you want to have a rice retailing business, so as an entrepreneur, you should be fully acclimate on what is happening with the rice industry. Kaya nga naman ibutang na to if naputa ka lang kag patindog dara because you have if you have the money, or maybe ganahan lang kag magbaligya-baligya without knowing the background of rice industry, na tendency that your business will fail. So aside from that, ibutang na to if you want a certain business that will operate. So for example, if you want mga electric vehicle, so if since kay usually karon na namang kay naana or uso na ang electric vehicle, so sa electric vehicle industry, if magbuhat man gani ka og um, electric vehicle, so you should know mga unsa ang mga environmental concerns and advancement na dapat buhaton nimo para of course makasabay gihapon ka. For example, as you all know that Tesla ang pinaka-leading sa market in terms of mga vehicle industry, but as an entrepreneur, how are you going to compete with that given that sa environmental concern na naata? So dapat kabalo ka kung unsaon siya paglantaw, or even mga strategic planning and positioning, and of course unsay mga dapat nimo i-examine para dili ka at par sa imuhang business na mahimong competitor. Because if you enter the industry of food industry, rice industry, vehicle industry, so dapat kabalo ka unsay problema or unsay kulang, unsay imong ma-improve, unsay imong maambag dili ang kay because trend siya no, magbuhat lang ka og business because just na gusto lang nimo na makisabay, gusto lang nimo maka-trend without knowing the background, without examining, without knowing unsay possible na impact sa imong business. It could be good, pero at the long time pwede siyang bad as long as pag di mo siya ma-examine og tarong. So it is really important that sa macro environmental sources such as industry, you should know kung asa na belong ang imong business para at least kung agian man gani sa panahon, you already know what are the strength and what are the opportunity and what are the threat na possibly na kung makaya ba niyang mo-exist in the long run. The third one is new discovery or knowledge. As you all know that these sources represent the emerging trend that entrepreneur can leverage to form the core of their business model. So, butang na to ang kaning new discovery or knowledge, say for an instance, there is an influx of mobile application karon. If nakabantay mo, so ang pinakaduol kinatar ni discovery knowledge in terms of mga business owner, or probably business owner or whatever establishment or industry that is na tendency that the mobile application necessitates the business to have this platform as one of their transaction channel. As you all know mo good, before we have this mga mobile application, if you want to have a transaction, need gini mo siyang agtuon. But as for now, because of the influx of mobile application, so na tendency na si business nag-a-adapt na sila ani per dili na kay siya ingon kuan sila ba hassle na. For example, if layo ang ilahang layo ang inyuhang venue or layo ang inyuhang location, at one click na lang dali ra kay mo or dali na mo ma-inform that naday order or naaday mga information na need na. For example, kay sa mobile application pwede man gud mo maka-customize if need niyo feedback, or even na kanang for example sa mga products o mag-add products. For example, kanang sa mga Shopee. So si Shopee is a platform na will allow us to kanang bitang instead of mag-buy ta sa physical store, we can already order or purchase from the online Bahalag layo pa na as long as maabot na siya sa to. So, the mobile application such as Shopee, dili na siya ingon, dili na siya hadlang ang location nganong dili ta makapalit sa isa ka product. So those are mga new discovery or knowledge samot na tong nahitabo ang tong pandemic. So the platform or the mobile applications is very useful because of the emerging trend or even gani sa katong unlikely situation na nahitabo way back 2019, 2020. The fourth one is futuristic opportunities. When we talk about futuristic opportunities, these are projected new opportunities that can possibly affect the new business while it is running. Say for example, this is more like if you are to operate, if you are futuristic in a futuristic opportunities, so you involve anticipating and preparing for potential trend that could impact a business while it is operational. So, ang opportunities ani may arise from emerging technology, the changing consumer behavior, or shift in the regulatory environment. So, ibutang nato dire ang sa futuristic sa opportunities, probably that si sari store in the future or dili in the future if you have noticed na pwede na pwede na maka-incorporate og financial transaction. They can already accept mga bills payment through GCash. Muna isa sa mga futuristic opportunities na namakuan sa sari-sari store. And we do not know if basin day karon na anay mga si sari-sari store can process remittance. We do not know if a certain business is futuristic, so muna siya ang possible na mga projected new opportunities that possible na maka-affect sa new businesses. For example, kana mga dagko ng mga store, it could be na threat na pwede na silang mahimo na threat na day para silang sari-sari store because they can already transact mga process remittance and even incorporate final transaction. But way back siguro 2000 kaning si sari-sari store, yes, dili jud ni siya mo dawat. For example, gani if nakabantay mo karon napoy mga sari-sari store, if mo palit ka, ma'am, pwede GCash, dili na sila musugot because wala pa man nila gi-adapt. For example, if nakabantay sa mo, there are a lot na or few of the sari-sari store already accept mga bills payment and then through GCash or mobile application, and then wala. Pwede na din siya, and we do not know the basin day no si sari-sari store given sa iyang small enterprise sa iyang kagamay niya, pwede na din siya maka-process og remittance. So those are mga futuristic opportunities that possibly might happen while the business or while new business is operating or possibly na kung mag-operate na ang business. We do not know because futuristic opportunities muna siya ang mga new opportunities that can possibly affect the new business. We do not know because it is futuristic. And yes, it can be improved and so on and so forth. So, kaning si futuristic opportunities, muna siya yung mga mo-arise ni siya from mga, yes, technologies. Yeah, technologies is involve cellphone, mga mobile applications, the changing consumer behavior or shift in the regulatory environment. And by that, ibutang na to if you want to build a business that focus on developing, implementing sustainable technologies for manufacturing, so probably that a venture could position itself as a leader in green manufacturing. So, natin this sub na butang na to if you want to sell a plastic cup as an futuristic opportunities, possibly na you already kanang naman gani siya chemicals no, naman gani chemicals na bilin dili gid totally na zero, gawas lang og kaning eco jud kay siya. Balik ta. I'm sorry for the last 3-second audio that happened. Okay, so let us go back again. So when we talk about new discoveries or knowledge, they serve as the foundation for innovative business model, while the futuristic opportunities, this involves preparing for potential trends that could shape the business environment. So, the entrepreneur, you as an entrepreneur, you should be informed about the emerging trend and be proactive in adapting venture that can position yourself for a long-term success in a dynamic and evolving marketplace. Okay, the second sources that we have are or the micro market sources. So I believe we have um one, two, three, four, five, six micro market factors. So this factor will allow us to identify potential opportunities based from this factor, which is micro or mga gagmay na mga forces that we can, yes, identify opportunities. Okay, the first one is consumer preferences, interest, and perception. Pag mayon ganita na, these are mga current needs and wants of potential customer that should be discovered right away by a budding entrepreneur. So, well, pag mayon ganita needs and wants, so mayon kitag needs, so these are mga psychological needs of a person. We talk about wants, those are mga your customer's desire and doesn't require unsa pa na or these are mga desire that are driven by personal preferences or social status. So, muna siya usually ang pwede ta makakuha og opportunity na unsa na chance opportunity or unsa na business ang atuang gusto na buhaton. So, for example, if you're able to distinguish both need and want of a certain potential customer. So there are instances that you can be able to take a chance of that opportunity. So yes, that is how the consumer preferences, interest, and perception enable us to capture that there is already a chance opportunity with that needs or want of a certain potential customer. The next one is competitors. So, as an entrepreneur, you should know how to recognize and understand potential competitors. So, if you know how to understand and recognize potential competitor, this will aid you to develop a product or services that is unique and will surely stand out from the competition. But not because you know your competitor, you already know their weaknesses, their strengths, and so on. May improve lang ka. So, we have also a natay technique ani, and I believe pwede ninyo siya magamit. The 4 P's of marketing. 4 P's of marketing stand for product, place, price, and promotion. So, this is the most promising um, step that uh, that you're going to use para mo stand out ka from the competition. So, muna siya. Kay, say for example, if you already know the product, you already know the place, the price, and promotion, so, sa man imong buhaton? Sa man mo since that you're familiar with your competitor. So, you need to improve, you need to innovate, and of course, you are one step ahead because you're using the 4 P's of marketing. So, kabalo na ka kung asa ka pwede mo add o asa ka pwede na maka-add og improvement sa imuhang future business na mo i-operate nimo. Okay? The next one is unexpected opportunities from customer. So, this is one of the most brilliant venture come from the most unexpected opportunities. Yes, this may happen in unlikely situations, unlikely places, and yes, maybe with unlikely people. So, kani siya ng mga unexpected opportunities from customer. Yes, naagyo siya mga existing problem, and even though that there is an unlikely situations, unlikely people, unsa pa na dira ng mga unlikely, kani siya ng mga problems will give rise to unexpected opportunities. So, as an entrepreneur, you should be on top of this situation and change the market perception of a product or service, and yes, create a new market because even gani klasa, even as an entrepreneur, even though that kanang product na dili kay siya na pleasing sa mata ng tawon or it is really not good, but as an entrepreneur, if you know how to make that product na makatabang, or you know how to make that certain unexpected opportunity na that will help everyone. So yes, pwede gyud na to na siya mabuhat because not all opportunity comes from good, but there also opportunities come from unlikely situation. And with that, as an entrepreneur, you should be on top of that. So dili lang ta mulantaw sa good thing, but we also look at both side para wala tay kung sa kon pa dili ta mamili, because as you all know, one of the characteristic of an entrepreneur, we are market leader. We should know how to address unexpected opportunities, and not because na it is unlikely situations, dara na lang ta mag-focus. So an entrepreneur, you can improve, you can innovate, and you can prove to them that this certain product or services is one step ahead from the perception that they have. Probably siguro at first, dili na siya dawaton sa people, or dawaton sa customer, or dawaton sa industry, but in the long run, big hit gyud na siya. As long as you know how to, you know how to, um, what do you mean by that? You know how to come up an idea that, or you know how to use the correct process na that certain business. If you already have the analysis, already have the testing, the step-by-step analysis, you already have the, you undergo with the process, that you surely know that certain business will what, succeed in the future. Well, the next one is talents, hobbies, skills, and expertise. As you all know that business opportunities not just come from outside forces, but also from within. So your talent, your hobbies, skills, and etc. can be the sources of a business opportunity. Say for example, if you are an artist, then you can sell paintings. If you are a singer or musician, you can set up a bar and perform there. So, kanay mo mga expertise, those are one of the valuable sources na pwede ta maka-create of business. And kay nga naman, you already have it man sa imuha. So, for example, if you already acknowledge it, then it can harness your internal strength, and yes, you can identify and capitalize on opportunities that align with your capabilities and interests. So you are more likely to succeed because you know that you like the job, you know that you like that kana na korte kaya jud kay nimo na siya. It's just that um it's take passion and motivation to pursue a business opportunity. As you all know that you need to invest time, effort, and resources for you to succeed. So, yes, dili gina siya hadlang as long as you are dedicated. Aside from you are good in paintings, you are good in singing. For example, if you are really good in cooking, yes, you can decide, or you might decide on starting a catering business or open a restaurant, because you can it can allow you to pursue your what, passion, while building a profitable venture. So, yes, pwede kita ma-create of opportunity out of your talents, your expertise, and etc. Okay, the next one is irritant in the marketplace. So, irritant in the marketplace, we have mga deterrents, problem, complaints, and delay. So, unsa man ato ang makita ni, how can we consider this an opportunities? As you all know that, say for example, kani mga deterrent and problem. So, if for example, if a customer consistently complain about the lack of healthy foods option in the area. So as an entrepreneur, you can see, or you might see an opportunity to open a salad bar or health focused restaurant to meet this unmet needs sa imuhang customer or sa imuhang client, and so on and so forth. In terms of complaints and delay, if you keep on kaning receiving mga complaints or delays sa service or product delivery, this can also signal potential business opportunities. So for instance, if customer is frequently complaining about the long wait at a car wash, so entrepreneur could develop a mobile car washing service that offer on-demand cleaning at the customer location, and this can eliminate the need for waiting and providing convenience. So kaning si even the problem, or even the problem that arise of, yes, it could be a reason, or as an opportunistic entrepreneur, should come in and make a difference. So dili lang nato ipa-feel sila no na may mga okay, sorry ma'am, kay inani ma'am as an opportunistic entrepreneur. So what you're going to do, you make a difference. So dili lang kay ingo na pasagdaan lang nimo siya. So instead of waiting, you make or you stand and you make a difference, and you should be proactive. So not just by watching them na okay inana na gyud na sige na siya complain, inana delay gyud na sila always. So you can what, you can you can cite a potential business out of those mga recurring problem. Like for example, mga delay ka na siya, common you can samot sa mga food, then even gani ka ng mga unhealthy food. So yes, those are opportunities na pwede ka maka build of businesses or products or services. In terms of location, kaning si location, these are often entrepreneurs just have to look at their ecosystem and they will be able to spot a business right away. So, kaning si location, you can, you can, the entrepreneur can often find business opportunities by observing the surrounding and identify unmet needs or gaps in the market within local ecosystem. For example, a resident of densely populated urban area might notice a lack of pet grooming services nearby and decide to start a mobile pet grooming business. So, there are instances na pwede gina siya. So, butang na to ha, each location sub has a unique demographic, culture, and preferences, so which can create opportunities for entrepreneurs to address specific needs or preferences of the local community. So, for instance, in a certain neighborhood with a large elderly population, there might be opportunities for business that provide home care services, grocery delivery, or senior recreational activity. So, there are a lot of kaning kuan mga opportunities that we can made or we can use, or pwede nato siya magamit as a chance for us to start or for us to venture our own business. Okay? Now, before we proceed to the next concept, let us have a short recap of the micro market factors. We talked about micro market factors. So this is one of the um, various sources that we can identify new ideas or opportunities in seeking opportunities to venture a certain business. So we have six. The C squared UTIL. The C stands for consumer preferences, interest, and perception. Second one is competitors. Third one is unexpected opportunities from customer. The fourth one is talent, hobby, skills, and expertise. Fifth is irritant in the marketplace. Uh, Six is the location. So those are the micro market factors that we can possibly identify an opportunities. Okay. Now let us proceed to methods of generating ideas. Okay. We have uh, four methods of generating ideas. The first one is focus group discussion. So in this method, a moderator handles a very open, free-flowing, and in-depth discussion with a group of people who can provide insightful ideas about a new product or service that will fill a market need. So, moingon kita focus group discussion. So, yes, mas ma mas makuan pa nato siya, or we are allowed to have an in-depth discussion about what will be the business or idea or product or services that we can create or use to fill the market need. Okay? The second one is brainstorming. So, similar to focus group discussion, see, brainstorming is an activity that allows the participant to share their creative ideas using this following rules. Of course, no destructive criticism or judgment is allowed. So, may kitag no destructive criticism. Instead of using this one, let us practice constructive criticism. And we have here, while their ideas are accepted, because the wilder the ideas, then that is good, because we need to what? We need to innovate, and we need new ideas, and with that ideas we can create a new outcome, or maybe we're able to have a new taste or a new preferences, or that probably that a customer or a consumer would like to have. The third one is ano, more ideas are preferred. Yes, so sa method of generating ideas sa brainstorming, so dili gina disregard ang imong ideas, because more ideas, of course, more concept, and then mas mapagana pa gyud, or let's say you will all recognize, regardless of siguro mali man siguro na imong idea, but in brainstorming there is no wrong thought, or there is no idea that is considered as mali. So tama na tanan, as long as that is your idea, that is your opinion. So no judging in terms of brainstorming. Okay? We also have sa ruling sa one of the rules of brainstorming, more improvements of other ideas is allowed. Yes, sa brainstorming, yeah, even that we are we are allowed to speak up of these certain ideas. Of course, we also accept mga improvement of other ideas. Say, for example, if a certain person were suggesting that this product will be, or this product or services ang atong gamiton. So, for example, if you find that helpful and you find that very interesting, so yes, you can improve the other's idea, so para maka-come up mo o yes, mas maayo na concept or opportunities or a business or a product na inyong gamiton in the future. Uh, the other one is, si brainstorming is a fun discussion with lenient rules. Yes, kasi brainstorming, from the word brainstorming, so you will have a fun discussion in terms of kanang at least contribution. Kung sa kuan pa ay a contributions of many ideas, with fun discussions, wilder ideas, and probably that all ideas is accepted. And with that, you can what? You can create a concept or a refined ideas based from the ideas that you have gathered from different people or different perspective on that area. Okay? The next one is brainwriting or internet brainstorming. So, this is exactly the same as brainstorming, except that the channel used is not face-to-face, but in writing or online. Did you know that the result of brainwriting or internet brainstorming usually takes longer, as the answer depend on the availability of the participant in answering the questionnaire online. Okay? The fourth one in method of generating ideas is problem inventory analysis. So, what is problem inventory analysis? So, this method is similar to the focus group discussion, except that the participants are already given an inventory of product or service problem. So, the participant will just identify from the list given the compelling problem of potential product or service instead of generating the idea from them. Okay? Now let us proceed here. The macro environmental sources. This is one of the example of finding or the steppled analysis. I believe I already discussed what is steppled. So, steppled is a mnemonic for the for social cultural. T is for technological, E is for environmental, E is for economic, P is political, L is for legal, E is for ethical, D is for demographic factor. So, step out again is an analysis that where or analysis of the general environment where the entrepreneur can identify potential business opportunities from, and where that future business will operate. So, ang mahitabuan ni, you will create an stippled analysis, no? So, from doing a stippled analysis, it will allow you to decide what product or services to set up and whether this new venture will succeed or not. So, yes, not all factors can have an effect on the new venture, but the important thing is for the entrepreneur to fully scan this factor so he can see, or he or you can decide if there is a compelling business opportunity or amending threat of the business that will operate in the future. Let's begin with socio-cultural factor. So, pag may yung socio-cultural factor, so this factor represent a general views of the locality's traditions, the custom, belief, norms, and perception. So, this factor affect how a person of the locality behave and react to marketing and selling activities. Nga naman, say for example if that particular locality or particular location is very mindful in terms of health, so isa yun na si mong lantawon kung they are kung if you are to start your business, dili ba siya ingon mo sukwahi or dili ba siya lahi sa ilahang traditions, dili ba siya maka-offend or dili ba malabag kung sila mga belief, tradition, and custom diha na area. So you should take note of the following sociocultural factors. Of course, the health consciousness. Pero that is only applicable if kanang sa ilahang tradition, if they are really health conscious, then of course isa gyud na si may i-consider. The next one is educational level. So sa social cultural factor, education level is very important, as to which when you venture a business, it can significantly influences an individual's knowledge, skills, and overall perspective of entrepreneurship, because with that educational level you were able to make informed decision, you can identify opportunities, you can adapt to market changes. So with that educational level, dili na siya lisod para sa imuha, because you can create a business or venture a business with informed decision. Nakabalo ka na, since that they are not dili sila pwede so dili nimo na buhaton, so you will create an opportunity that is not bitong dili alanganin ang other party. So the next one is, isa sa mga i-take note nimo is what is the attitude of that mga consumers or client toward imported goods and services. Let us say that they are into ano patriotism, or they are very patriotic, no? Mga patriotic sila. So, of course, if you tend to sell or mag-venture ka business na or magbaligya ka og mga tawag ani, mga imported product or good, or do you think mapalit sila knowingly that lahi ilang attitude toward imported goods and services? Okay? Next one is the attitude toward the person's lifestyle. So you should also consider that one in terms of venturing a business, because you cannot just start a business without looking about the person's lifestyle or the person's lifestyle in that particular community. We also have the attitude toward product quality and customer service. So say for example, if you are to start your business, so you should consider unsa di mga product quality usually ilang ginatangkilik, and even mga customer service that is effective for them na mo purchase sa imuha. Aside from purchasing, that you can feel the need of the people. If butang na to sa customer service, if they keep on experiencing mga delay, if they keep on experiencing mga complaints, so as a you can improve it unsa ilang attitude toward product quality and customer service. Also, if unsa ilang mga attitude toward saving and investing, so you should emphasize. So for example, you can create you can venture a business about kanang safety buying habit, and of course religions and belief. So muna ang imuhang dapat mindful ka in terms of venturing a business sa socio-cultural factor. Okay? The next one is technological factor. So, kani siya na technological factor. These are composed of innovation of an existing technology or an invention of a new one, mostly on applied science and engineering research areas. So, the entrepreneur should always be up to date with the technological changes as these are catalysts in improving a product or services or replacing them entirely. So, unsa man imuhang kinahanglan i-take note in terms of technological factors. So, dapat kabalo ka sa mga basic infrastructure level rate of technological change. Dapat you should know how to spending on research and development. Third one is technology incentive. Fourth is legislation regarding technology. Fifth is communication infrastructure. And of course, nakay access to newest technology. And the last one is internet infrastructure and penetration. So those are the things that you need to take note if ever man ganit that you will venture a certain business. Okay? The third factor is economic factor. So, pag may economic factor, so, dako kina siya, the economic factor plays a vital role in the scanning of marketing environment because economic factor directly affect any business venture. So, this factor include income, expenses, and resources that can influence the cost of doing business and generating income. So, muna mo i-take note of the following economic factors. So, you should know about the growth rates, the inflation rate, the interest rates, exchange rate, unemployment trend, labor cost, stage of business cycle. So, you should know sa ang mga economic factor na mo i-consider if you are to, if you are to start your business. Because if you are not familiar with this concept, there are instances that there will be an influx or possibly that it can affect your business venture because you don't know the basic or wala ka kabalon sa mga economic factor na pwede maka-apekto sa imong business. Okay? The next one is the next one is the E or for stippled is environmental or ecological factors. So when it talks about this factor, this this should be given much importance in conducting a business, especially when the world has already suffered severely from human-induced calamity. So this kind of this factor will help the entrepreneur to determine if the business he or she is entering into will comply with the environmental standard or will just be a hazard to people, animal, and nature. So moreover, the entrepreneur will know if the business venture will be suited with the weather condition in his or her locality. So the entrepreneur should take note of the following environmental factors. For example, kanang the weather, the climate change, the laws regulating environment pollution, air and water pollution, the recycling, waste management, the attitude toward green or ecological products, energy wastes, attitude toward and support for renewable energy. So these are the factors that you need to consider if you are to enter a business venture kay basin din no nagpalabi na lang po ka kay gusto ka let's say that you already have the opportunity, you seize already the opportunity but not knowingly that it can affect the environmental factor kay ang imong gipanggamit na materials is hazardous that it could be what it could harm the people, not just the people, even the mga sea animals and of course the nature. So muna dapat i-consider that if ever magana na kung i-dispose na nimo, pwede ba siya maka-cause of climate change and so on and so forth. Okay? The next one is political factors. So political factor is ano, mostly induced by government policies and administration which can have strong effect in the entrepreneur business. So, pag may yung ganito ana, the entrepreneur should take note of the following political factor. So, example for this is ang kanang mga government stabilities and likely changes, the bureaucracy, the corruption level, tax policy, or kanang rate and incentive, the freedom of speech, the rule of law, or government effectiveness and political rights. So, muna yung mga ginahanglan, i-consider na pwede siya makahatag o effect sa imuhang business. kanang mga imuhang, for example, sa bureaucracy, pwede ba na siya na maka-contradict, no? So, pwede ba na siya kuan o maka-mitigate for corruption level, and so on and so forth. Okay? Next is legal factor. So, this is related with political factor. However, legal factor are government laws and regulation that can restrict or allow business activities. Pag mayong ganita ani, the entrepreneur should take note of the following legal factor. For example, dapat kabalo si business or si entrepreneur mo lantaw kung ano kanang sa tawag ani, if you are allowed to operate if you know the antitrust law, discrimination law, the copyright, patent, intellectual property rights, the consumer protection, employment law, health safety law, data protection law. So those are the things that you need to consider. So for example na if you are allowed to operate na gani, butang nato kasanang sa mga hotels, mga motels, mga mga sa na tawag na not need legal factor. So para maprotektahan sab no ang imuhang mga client or customer. So those are the things, and even not just a customer but you yourself as a business. So those are the things that you need to consider sa mga legal factors in terms of ano if you will have or if your business will operate. So probably legal factor will allow you to be restricted on doing that. So if you violate katong mga if you violate rules, that is kanang rules regulated by the government laws. And of course, same with kaning it will allow you to operate if you are following the laws that is being implemented. Okay? The next one is ethical factor. Ethical factor, muna siya ang mo serve as the entrepreneur guide on how to be ethical in running the business. So, kasi mo dapat kinahanglan timan-an ani. So, ethical advertising and sale practices. So, you should be ethical in advertising your product and sale practices. You should accepted accounting, management, and marketing standard. What is your attitude toward counterfeiting and breaking patent? What is your attitude toward development and well-being of employees? So these are these are very important that you need to consider as an entrepreneur for you to be ethical in running the business, not just because you run your business, so your business, your rules. But however, as a entrepreneur, you will be the you will be the boss, so you will hire people, and then with that, you should know what is the ethical factor that you need to consider na how can you be ethical in running your business. Okay, the last one is demographic factor. So these are the characteristic of the people in the target market. So ang imong lantawon ani is that sa population growth rate, isa na simulang taon sa demographic factor, sa age distribution and life expectancy rate. So, for example, sa demographic factor, no, since, ay batan to sa isa ka particular area, since kay daghan man kaayo og mga senior citizen, dara, no, so, imo din ang usa, day business na nindot maayo buhaton dira. So, you should consider the demographic factor. Could be that you can, anang venture a business like mga home for the aged, but depending on the demographic factor kung unsa man gyud mga pinaka-suited business na dapat buhaton nimo. Of course, including dire sa demographic factor ang gender distribution, the social classes, the family size and structure, and even the minority. So those are mga following factors na dapat nimo i-take note if you are to venture your business. Okay, so let us have a short recap again. So steppled analysis. So these are the general environment where you can identify business opportunities. However, with this general environment, there are things that you need to take note for you to follow mga legal factors, mga things to consider if your business will operate in the future. Okay. Well, congratulations. By now, you already feel overwhelmed with how vast S1 or the opportunity seeking is, but You don't have to worry that much because this concept has been inculcated to you to see the universe of opportunities an entrepreneur can derive from the macro environmental and micro environmental sources. So, if you are done with seeking the opportunity, what is the next step? The next step is how to effectively choosing or careful diligence. Entrepreneurs should start with the big picture. So since that you already have the opportunities, you already identified one, and you already consider the factors, the sources. So, ang pinaka ikaduha or ikaduha na best way in ensuring that the entrepreneur has scanned the best potential business to venture into is the ano screening the opportunity. Again, opportunity screening is the process of cautiously selecting the best opportunity, and the selection will depend on the entrepreneur's internal intent and external intent. Pag may yung internal intent, this is the main objective that the business will accomplish in the entrepreneur's life. Meanwhile, external intent is which will address the compelling need of the target market. So, muna mo ang kinahanglan, no? So, for example, already seek the opportunity. Now, you screen the opportunity. What is the internal intent? Unsa di ma-accomplish nimo as an entrepreneurs. If you're going to uh, venture this business, that is the internal intent. However, or meanwhile, external intent is that unsa di ma-address which will address the compelling need of the target market. Oh, if I'm going to venture this one, is helpful ba ni siya, makatabang ba ni siya market, and so on and so forth. So, um, si entrepreneur, you as an entrepreneur, you should what? You should apply due diligence and independent judgment in selecting the opportunities that have a potential and eliminate those that are not within the scope of the entrepreneur risk appetite. So risk appetite refers to the entrepreneur tolerance of business risk. So for example, i-consider gid mo even though that you already identify mga opportunities, so you should know your internal intent and external intent. And then after that, you can choose and select and eliminate. Of course, ang last is eliminate nimo ang katong mga dili sa imuhang scope para uh, mas madali nimo ma-identify unsa gyud itong preferable business that you are very comfortable to to be to risk the opportunity, or kaya nimo siyang mabuhat given that the resources that you have, given that the judgment that you have. Okay? In screening the opportunity, yes, ang time ang pinaka must be consider ani, because see, it is one of the most critical resources of an entrepreneur. So, time should only be devoted to worthwhile opportunities. So, therefore, entrepreneur must always be sharp eye for real opportunities. They must be able to intelligently say no to low compelling opportunities and proceed with sensible ones. So, not because ay nindot siya, sayang, pwedeng apilo na lang. No, dili gid na. So, you should be, or you should have sharp eye for real opportunity. So, the crafting of business plans start only when entrepreneur already said no to many opportunities, said yes to one forceful opportunity, which they will devote their time and resources. Since you already have the ano opportunity, uh, you now what you're going to do is that you select and choose and eliminate those mga unwanted opportunities na dili in line sa imong internal and external intent. And after that, since you already said yes to one particular opportunity, this is the time that you can devote your time and resources, because after opportunity spotting assessment, you will develop your what? Your business plan. So, sa imong business plan, you're going to detailed or the um you need to detail, di ba? Kinahanglan nimo i-detail unsay mga dapat nimo buhaton to make that business plan operate, from the strategic direction, the marketing planning, financial planning, and so on and so forth. So, um a tip for screening the opportunity, you should uh, you should say no to an opportunity if it is if it is does not or if it does not contain any of mga kani siya na mga opportunity element. So, for example, if an opportunity ano has superior value to customer. Pag mo yung ganita na, niche ang pinaka-core of any successful business opportunities because it lies here the ability to provide superior value to customer compared to existing alternative. So, this can be manifest in various forms such as better qualities, the lower cost, enhanced convenience, superior customer service, or innovative features. So, muna siya ang mga superior value to customer. The second one is you should say no to opportunity if it does not contain any of this business opportunity element if they solve a compelling problem, issue, a need, or a want. So, nga naman, what do you mean by that? So, successful business typically address a compelling problem, need, or want in a market. So, the more acute the pain point or desire, the greater the potential demand for the solution. So, for instance, if a company that develop affordable and accessible healthcare solution for underserved communities, they address a compelling need and therefore has a strong market opportunity. Okay? The next one is a potential cash cow. What do you mean by that? So an opportunity should have the potential to generate substantial profit and positive cash flow over the long term. So this means that the business model should allow for healthy margin and scalability. For example, a subscription-based software platform with low overhead costs and high customer retention rates can become a cash cow if it captures a significant market share. Okay? And the last one is if it matches with the entrepreneur skills, resources, and risk appetite. So, kung may yung ganito ani, the entrepreneur should assess whether they possess the necessary skills, resources, risk tolerance to pursue a particular opportunity. This is very important because an opportunity aligns that with entrepreneur expertise, experience, and resources is more likely to succeed. Additionally, entrepreneurs should consider their risk appetite and whether they are comfortable with the level of uncertainty and potential challenges associated with the opportunity. Okay?